fourth episode of the Otafest Podcast. I'm Jay.
I'm Dio. I'm back again.
I'm Alfred.
And I'm Sara, but a different Sara than the last one.
Yeah, this is second Sara, but this is going to be the second Sara of many other Saras.
Second of 7 or 8.
Yep, we know quite
There's
a few.
a lot of us.
This episode, we're going to be talking about cosplay, a major component in all of our convention experiences. This podcast, of course, first of all, is brought to you by Otafest, the con that sponsors the Otafest Podcast. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about them a little bit later, and we've got some news about Otafest right now, actually, if Alfred will take us there.
Okay, and there's a lot of news this time, so I'm going to try to go a little quickly. Okay, so our early bird deadline for pre-reg has passed. Tickets are now available for $55. They have gone up in price by $5. So in order to avoid losing more money or... just having to spend more, you should pre-reg right now. But a way to get around paying more is that you can visit us at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. We'll have a table there. We'll have pre-reg available for $55 with no tax and no service fees. We'll also have new kimono-themed pins from Vari, Mio, and June and Lorelei on sale. And... we're also going to have an entry in the Parade of Wonders, so you should sign up with our group and show off your magnificent cosplays. Kind of a bit of a something new for us as well is that we actually have a table down at Sakura-Con in Seattle, which I'm very excited about. I know Sarah's super excited about Sakura-Con.
Very.
And...
Yeah.
There's 3 people in this room that are going, and there's 4 people sitting in this room. I hate you guys.
I'm ready.
Free ticket to Sakura-Con, and I'm inviting T-Pain instead of Jay.
I'm inviting Garugamesh.
Oh, okay. So now our OFS news as well. We have it's sign-up season for pretty much everything. Volunteering sign-up is up. We have sign-ups for Otafest Idol. Please submit panels, which reminds me, I have to do that.
Me too.
Me 3. Not me.
What, you're not running Cooking with Undyne with us?
Not at Otafest.
Oh.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, okay, fine. We actually also have art contests, and that's making a return from I think it was absent at Otafest Aurora this year, but it's making a comeback.
And there's actually a really cool thing about art contest. If your entry is selected as the winner, we're more than happy. We just kind of put your art out on a bunch of different merchandise. It's not like sellable merchandise. We're not trying to make money off your art, but we'll put it on like our t-shirts and stuff like that. Be like, sweet, look at this sweet art.
Yeah, I'm actually always a fan of the art contest, just flipping through the guidebook, looking at all the entries. So if anything, even if you don't win the contest, your entry will still make it into the guidebook.
Yes.
So I do suggest you submit. And finally, we have the Maid Omatsuri. So if you saw our Maid Cafe at Otafest Aurora with our games and such, that was very popular. So we're going to bring it back for Otafest 2016. So it's a bit of a change in format for the Maid Cafe, and it's now Maid Omatsuri. We accept entries of all genders, sizes, anything. So just sign up if you're really interested.
If you want to help out, just help out.
Yeah. We also have... Oh, man, there's a lot of news. In social media front, we now have a Snapchat. We're just at Otafest.
Yeah, nothing special except Snapchats.
I actually don't have Snapchat, so I don't know what that's all about. But if someone... are you guys following the Otafest
It's
Snapchat?
It's either a 6-second photo or a 20-second video that you get to send to whoever wants to look at it.
Right.
Essentially.
No, I know what it is, but I don't know what's on the Otafest one specifically.
I don't
mostly
think there's anything yet.
Nothing yet?
So.
Okay, well, we'll have content soon. Usually it's
Yeah.
good. We were planning on using it more for like live stuff, like live tweeting, or not live tweeting, like live blogging, quote, unquote, or live snapping. And finally, our hotels. We are running out of rooms, so you should book quickly. They are available for $149 per night.
Which is a sweet deal.
Which is a sweet deal for downtown Calgary. That is our cheapest rate. We do have bigger and fancier rooms available. But if you're just coming into town and you need a place to stay, even if you live in Calgary and you don't want to make the drive downtown, $149 a night is a stellar deal just to stay in.
To be literally
Calgary.
2 minutes away from the con.
And yeah, you're pretty much going downstairs into the con.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it for Otafest announcements. And yeah, let's talk about some cosplay.
That's why we've got second Sara here as well.
Yeah.
She's all about the cosplay.
Super
Dio's
about
about the
the
cosplay.
cosplay.
So for our listeners, what do you do, Sarah?
What do I do?
Yeah, what do you do in the Otafest organization?
So I've judged cosplay at Otafest and at Animathon.
She judges you.
Yeah,
Grr,
literally.
super evil judge. And recently, since last year, I've been organizing an event called How It's Made Cosplay Edition, which is set up like a science fair, and we welcome everybody to come in, view some booths. The booths are about different things in cosplay. So if you want to learn something about leather working, you can learn something about leather working. So I really just wanted to have a good community event where everyone could just talk to each other.
Right, and actually this event in particular really struck me as kind of different from most of the other cosplay events we have at Otafest, because simply for the fact that it's not a competition, right? This is just a chance for...
to grow your own skills.
Yeah, to grow your skills. And even if you're not really that interested in cosplay, but you want to know about like one particular facet of it, then that's a great place to go.
I was just going to say that because I'm not a cosplayer. I haven't ever made a costume or anything like that, let alone really wore anything that wasn't like Halloween.
What, Sai doesn't count?
Yeah, Sai doesn't count. Sai's just he's a side persona. He's my performing persona.
Also, even if you're like you've been cosplaying for years, you know a ton of stuff, the people who run the booths also really want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
So last year, Sara, hey friend,
Hi.
invited me to come participate in How It's Made, and I think I'm going to be probably participating, maybe not as with a booth this year again. But it was really fun because a lot of the people who came to like talk to me at my booth weren't just like necessarily people who were cosplayers. A lot of it was people who were just at the con and were just interested in seeing what was going on.
Just passing through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I learned a lot about cosplay, even though it's not that I don't have any interest in it. I just don't do it. I'm not involved in it. But seeing like everyone's collective experience and like things like prop making and stuff like that, which is always cool. It doesn't really matter that you have to be into it. It was really a good eye-opener to see exactly how much work people have put into it and how much dedication goes into cosplay as well,
right,
on the side of like, learning and improving your own skills.
Yeah, and the great thing about the science fair format, in my opinion, is just like you go to like a whole bunch of cosplay intro panels, like how to cosplay and stuff, and what you normally see is there's a presenter at the front of the room and they're talking, right, and they hold up a piece, but they like sometimes they pass it around, but in this case, you can basically go up to a piece. Like one of my favorite booths was about wigs, and you could actually go right up to it or get right up close to it, and the presenter would demonstrate right in front of your eyes. Right, it's just a totally different experience than going to a panel. So
yeah, I agree with you. Like it's nice because you can come and you can touch stuff and you can ask questions.
Touchy.
Yeah, you can touch and feel and you can ask questions, and it's live. So you don't have to sit in the back of a room and maybe hope that you can grab the presenter's attention for 2 or 3 minutes. You can sit down and ask them really detailed questions. And because the booths are all centered around one specific topic, it's not as general as, say, a panel. So you can go and learn all of the details about how to style a wig or how to make ruffles or how to work with leather armor, as opposed to...
That's kind of like, that's great. That like we live in an age where obviously like information is easily accessible. Like for instance, if you need a tutorial, how many people don't go to YouTube or don't just go to Google it, right?
Yeah.
But like the fact that you can also just be like near someone who has that physical experience already, and you're able to talk to them, interact with them on a one-on-one basis, is probably more invaluable than you'll ever get from just watching the YouTube, like numerous YouTube, right?
Right.
They'll be able to tell you exactly like what went wrong, like why did the first attempt go like this or whatever,
or
like
where
that.
in Calgary, like in particular.
Oh yeah,
can I
that's
get
another
this
thing. Like
stuff?
sourcing is a big
Yeah.
thing, right?
it's local, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really funny though that you should mention that, because it's like not to say that YouTube tutorials aren't invaluable, right? Because like we have 2 cosplayers in the room who have been doing this for a while now, and I think
Thanks. I'm not one of them, by the way.
2.5.
Yeah.
And you two both know about the Dark Age of Cosplay before the days of DeviantArt tutorials and YouTube tutorials. And
Honestly, even now with all the tutorials, I learn a lot more just by looking at things and like flipping seams and stuff than I do going through tutorials on YouTube.
Like every now and then I'll get people who will like message my Facebook page or message me on social media, and they'll be like, they'll ask me very general questions like, oh, how can I sew something like this? And I'll be like, well, if you look through this kind of tutorial, you can do this. And they're like, well, more specifically, how did you make this garment? And I'll be like, well, I experimented. I tried a thing. This is what didn't work. And then I tried something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
like nothing can beat the tactile experience. I get that. But just the fact is, you can just message a Facebook page right now, and you can get an answer like pretty much instantaneously, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And I run a Facebook page, and I know that if you don't respond straight away, you get that little like icon. It's like,
it gets mad at you.
It's like
you didn't
yeah,
respond.
it does.
I always respond, so I never
exactly. Yeah,
I do too, but like,
Wow, that's nice though. That's really good.
That's really
I'm
good.
kind of guilty of not responding, so I've gotten like a warning. It's like, you should respond to your
Does it
followers. And
really?
stuff. Yeah, it does.
well, it's like,
Yeah.
so for example, I got one while I was in class, and like I saw it because it buzzed my phone, but I didn't answer it. And so by the time I got home, like 8 hours later, it was like, you didn't respond to this message yet. Hurry up and respond to it. And I'm like, geez, Facebook, calm down.
Facebook's pretty incessant nowadays about like everything, so
Yeah.
I can understand why.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just back in the day, though. Back in the day, it was like really
like
just
7 years ago.
okay. 7 years, sure. It's back in the day in terms of like convention time, right?
Yeah.
Well, you have to understand that some of our convention goers are like 14
Right.
years old. That's
Right.
half their lifetime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
I would just like to
That
point
way.
that out.
yeah. I think I'm getting old. But
We're all
Don't
getting
go down
old,
that
like, it
path.
happens.
You cannot. If you do that,
no,
you
I'm
cannot
not
stop.
old in the grand scheme of things. But like, just in terms of this community, I guess I'm an old person.
How
But,
long have you been going to Otafest or cons in general?
we went over this last episode.
Oh,
I
did
think
we? Sorry.
Yeah, I think I
No,
was.
totally is
Guilty. Haven't been listening to that.
Oh,
That's okay.
okay. You're not welcome
I know.
back.
Maybe
For
I should
some
go
reason,
now.
I also don't listen to them very often. But I don't know why. But I feel like I do a lot of talking.
I listen to all of them.
I listen to all of them. I listened to like the last two or three well, there's only been 3 episodes, but I listened
nailed
to
it.
the last
You
2
nailed it.
episodes like probably 4 or 5 times. Like,
No,
while it was
but yeah,
sewing.
like in terms of being at Otafest, we're definitely, just to put it, not too fine a point of it, but everyone in this group is in their mid-20s now,
Yeah.
pretty much, and the average con attendee is probably in the 16 to 17 group, based on
Yeah,
things like
just-
money and like
just-
like if you have the time and all
In
this
our
other stuff.
demographic surveys.
So
and stuff,
we're
yeah.
definitely like, we're up to a whole 10 years older. And that's, of course, we're actually on the young end of the Otafest group.
Right.
The Otafest group is running closer to about mid-30s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not old either, but it is very old in terms of the con running crew.
Right.
Yeah.
And anyways, back to my point. I wasn't really too much of like a hardcore cosplayer, but I did used to browse forums and stuff like cosplay.com and stuff. And that was like pretty much like the
We
only
should check
way.
his favorites list.
That was pretty much the only way you could actually like find information
Information.
about cosplays. And if you want to reach out to a cosplayer, it would be like, I hope this person is still active on the forums and
Yeah.
private message them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's like, you were lucky who found a tutorial about your specific character, versus now it's like, oh, I'll just go in DeviantArt, type in my character name, and it's just like, there it is, right?
It's even easier than that. Now you can just type it into Google. You can type character
Yeah.
name tutorial and it'll pop out.
Yep.
I remember, when I first started out doing cosplay, things that like everybody uses now and no one really thinks about didn't exist.
Like ponytail wigs.
Ponytail
Oh my
wigs were
god,
not
I
a
had the
thing.
worst experience with my first
For
ponytail
the
wig
people who
ever.
don't know
a
what that
million years
means.
ago. So that's a wig that is
I mean,
put
I
up
sound
into
really
a high
stupid.
No,
but-
it's not stupid. So a wig put into a high ponytail, basically. So the reason that's a special thing is because when you have a high ponytail in a wig, you have to have the wefts, like the
Yeah,
bits
the
of hair
attachments.
flipped
Yeah.
like upside down in the back of the wig.
Oh.
Like
Or it looks
yeah.
silly.
Or
So,
else
so
or
it
else
goes
you
against the
can
grain.
see-
It goes against the flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So like
I
now,
learned something.
within like the last
Yeah.
like 5 years,
Yeah.
ponytail wigs are like easy to find.
Yeah, you
or
find
you
them
can get
everywhere.
something with like a
Yeah.
clip-on ponytail.
But there was a time.
But there
There
was a
was a
time
time.
when you had to buy a regular wig, like a medium-length wig, and
Like
you
a-
had to take out
like a
all of the
sucker.
wefts and then put them back in upside down.
And put it back upside
That's
down.
good.
And then you have to stub the top of the ponytail.
Yeah, you have to
so
cut it. And you
I
have to
think
put
you
all
gir-
sorts
I
of
think you
glue on
girls
it, like
aren't
cement
using-
and stuff.
You need to use more of a grandma voice, like when I was your age, I had to put hair upside down in my
And
fake hair.
if you wanted like a nice orange wig or like
Yeah.
a bright green wig or
Sharpie
whatever,
dye.
Sharpie dye.
Like you could not
even
buy the
joking.
Can you
color.
do it with metallics? That's my only question.
Metallic Sharpie?
Probably not.
Yeah,
You
like
would get
like a
pool of
silver
glitter.
or bronze.
Probably
I
get the
don't
pool
know.
of glitter at the end, at the
Oh.
bottom of the bottle.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think it would work.
I don't know.
I think
I've never tried.
I don't know.
Yeah, I never tried.
That's the only kind of
Experiment
Sharpies I'm interested in is
It's those
is
ones.
the yeah.
Yeah, but
like a raccoon or a crow.
Now it's like wig availability even is like a lot better now, right?
Well, there's also a ton of companies. Like there's more distributors.
Well, also you can get lace front wigs now, which you never could before unless
don't know what those mean either.
Shelled out.
Lace front wigs are basically
Teach me.
They're like regular wigs. They have the hairline is like a piece of lace, and what you can do is you can manually sew in the individual hairs to make a very natural looking hairline.
That's disgusting. I mean in a good way. It's just that like I'm imagining a literal scalp and like literally like
kind of is
one by a
kind of
hair.
is. There's like a little flap of like
oh Lord.
Yeah,
There's a flap of like netting, like really like close together netting, and then you can glue it down to your forehead, and then it looks like a natural hairline. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really
Terrifying.
useful if you you have darker hair and you need to have a wig in a lighter color.
Yeah.
For instance, as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Once upon a time, they didn't exist. I remember, like, when I bought my first wig for my first costume. This was also
What was
at a
your
time-
first costume?
It was Xemnas from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Aw.
Yeah.
Wait, that was mine too. That was like my second, maybe.
You mean Kingdom Hearts 2 and not Xemnas, but...
Wait, no, Xemnas. I totally did. I had a wig from like Dawn's Hobby
You
Shop, and it was
did?
awful.
How
It was
did
like
you
an
know
old
this
lady
about each
wig.
other?
No.
You
No
guys
one
were like,
knows, and
you
no
guys have
one
been friends for like
needs
10
to know.
years.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
I bought my wig. This was also during a time where pre-styled wigs were not like a thing that were
Right,
very
yeah.
Oh
readily
my God.
available.
You it was like one style and you had to style it yourself.
I needed a gray wig, so I bought like a Halloween wig.
Oh,
it was
no.
like for like
Oh,
an
no.
old lady costume kind of thing, and then I like waxed it into place. And stuff.
Wow.
I actually managed to find a pre-styled Xemnas wig. I managed to find one because Kingdom Hearts was super popular.
And that's
at
why
the
you don't
time.
have a kidney anymore.
Yeah, FYI,
You
my
sold your
Xemnas
kidney
was like
for that
3 years
wig.
before hers. It was also when I learned to
That's why I
sew.
didn't know.
My like Organization 13 like hood thing. It was like a triangle of fabric because we ran out of time, and me and my mom didn't know how to make a hood.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I bought a wig. I found it on eBay, and I think it was pre-styled, and it wasn't even that good, like especially compared to like today's standards. But I think it cost me something like $220
Oh my God.
of like
Christ.
14-year-old me's A&W money.
Oh
like
my God.
$220 on like $9 of
$8. It was
It was $8 then?
at the time.
$8
Minimum
an
wage
hour.
was
Minimum wage is
$8.05.
$8.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, I was excited to have a job that paid like $11 an hour. back
Yeah.
then. That was
That's
yeah.
one thing anymore.
That was mind blowing.
That was mind blowing. It was like, holy crap! I'm in high school. I'm getting paid $11 an hour. Holy crap!
on the road up now.
Yeah. No, I thought I was making big bucks. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, and then we find out how much engineers get paid. And then our hearts get crushed. My heart is still crushed, and I'm an adult now.
But yeah. Those were, I wouldn't say like dark times. Like I guess they were just. It was almost simpler to get
Simpler
started.
times.
It was
yes.
simpler to get started. Actually, now I think to get started in cosplay now, it's almost overwhelming.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, do you think people like? I'm not that kind of person to be intimidated about that kind of thing, but I feel like it's like one of those comments, right? Where and I'm sure it's kind of disheartening to hear sometimes. Where sometimes you will have people who are just starting out, or they're not very confident in their abilities, and they're like, "Oh, you made that cosplay so well. I don't think I would ever do it."
I hate
Yeah,
hearing
that
I
kind of
that.
hate
thing,
hearing
right?
that too. Oh
It's
my
like
gosh.
no, like I
That's
have
not. That was never the
years
intent,
behind me.
right?
That's
Yeah.
why I can do that.
I think especially now with the availability of materials
Yeah.
and the availability of all the tools and stuff like that, is now you have people who are just starting out or who have been doing it for only say 2 or 3 years who are making stuff at the quality that maybe you would expect of a professional.
But also when people say something like, "Oh, like you did so well that it doesn't encourage me to do it,"
Oh, it
or something like that,
hurts.
like that really sucks. But it's kind of not fair because they don't see how many years, how many mistakes that you've had to make and things like that as well. It
Yeah.
discredits the experience that you've had.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk down to them, but it's just because you see someone do something really well and you really admire it does not mean you should ever discredit yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I was kind of having like a nostalgia moment last night on Twitter.
Aw,
where
yeah.
I posted Babby's first homemade cosplay.
It was the Zach.
It was the Zach. I did Zach Fair.
Oh my God, I remember
from
that, yeah.
Crisis Core. That was
Yeah.
my first homemade cosplay.
That was before I
So
knew her.
adorable.
I was really proud of myself, and I'm still proud of the pants that I made for that.
You
that
should be proud. You should
cosplay.
always be proud.
They were very beautiful pants, and I still have them because I'm so proud of them. But man, everything else on that cosplay was
I remember
a
your wig
train
stood
wreck.
up really well.
Yeah,
Like,
it did.
The
My
spikes
wig
were really good.
My wig held up, and I was really. I bought that one pre-styled as well. and paid too much money.
If you would like
for
to see
it.
this photo, follow
Yeah, you
follow
Nyantron.
at Nyantron on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about my first cosplay.
We're gonna talk about it.
We could talk about how we met. I cosplayed Mello.
By the way, Sarah is for all of you listeners out there, Sarah is my girlfriend.
What?
Yeah, they're holding hands. Ew.
Actually, they're not.
They're actually
We're not.
Actually not. We have a
We
pillow.
actually have a
They're
pillow
really not.
We have
between
a pillow between us right now. But, I don't
Thank
know,
God
do
for
you
that pillow.
Do you want to tell the story?
That's a new pillow.
I guess we
Don't
have
do
to
anything.
now.
I guess we have to. You brought it up. You did this to yourself.
Okay, we cosplayed from the same series.
We cosplayed from
That's
the
the
same series.
story.
It was Death Note. She was Mello, I was L, and I
For anyone who doesn't know what Alfred looks like, he basically looks like L if L had glasses and
yeah.
Shout
Alfred also
out-
dresses
okay.
a little bit more like classier than L does, but
Yeah,
that's not saying a lot.
Not like dirty pajamas, you know.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Austin Lee if anyone knows him, because that's basically what Alfred looked like as L.
Yeah.
Hi, Austin.
No, his L cosplay was really, really good, and mine was not.
His Alfred cosplay is also really good.
Has he? No, he hasn't done that. Actually,
I think 4 people have cosplayed Alfred.
I don't know why, but like it's a sticking point with people who know me and people who have been part of this community for a while. Is that
He has a very distinct haircut.
I'm gonna
and
cosplay Alfred
profile
now.
and look? I don't know. Like 4 people have cosplayed me. I don't know why. Just
I'm gonna do it.
Generic skinny Asian number 1.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right? Okay,
That's
but-
basically Alfred.
No, I'm gonna
Not that
cosplay
there's anything
like
wrong with that.
your logo, like the one that's on your car.
Triangle.
yeah.
Yeah, the triangle.
I'm so happy.
So let's talk about just the cosplays that you guys are nostalgic about, the ones that you guys are the most proud of,
Or what you're
man.
looking forward
or
to making.
you're looking forward to making.
Okay, can we talk about the stuff that... Okay, at Sakura-Con, I'm gonna cosplay Kairi from Kingdom Hearts 1, and I tried it on
Whoa,
last
that's
night.
old school.
And I don't know, like I wanted to cosplay it since I was 14, and I'm only doing it now.
So why did you wait so long?
Because it's just like
It just happens.
It just was in the back of my mind. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, I want to cosplay Kairi so bad.
Yeah.
Until like a few months ago, I was like,
It's time.
I'm gonna do it. It's time.
Yeah,
okay.
when you start cosplaying, you kind of end up with like a bucket
list.
list, and the bucket list gets
What's-
longer and longer.
Is that the dream
longer.
cosplay? What's the dream cosplay?
The dream cosplay.
The dream.
I don't know.
Alexis?
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
I don't have a
I have
dream.
no
No,
idea.
I
No, okay, I have a dream cosplay right now.
Right now. I was like, that was good.
Hannah Alexander's she's an artist on DeviantArt. She
Oh, I
did
thought
a
it was
bunch
like Hannah
of
Montana.
Art Nouveau style like Disney princesses. I really want to cosplay Ariel from that series.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Say that
So
again.
you're already
say it again so people can look her up on DeviantArt.
you're big into Disney anyways. So
Hannah-
it's pretty.
Hannah Alexander, Art Nouveau, Disney princesses.
Yeah, just Google that. and
Google
you'll
that.
find
They're
it.
so pretty.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're really, really, really nice.
I have not seen them.
Yeah, no.
My dream is that at Colossal Con, which is a con with like water parks and stuff.
Yeah,
I wanna do it in the water.
we'll get to talking about Colossal Con later
Okay.
in the show, I
Yeah.
think. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, just to get back to that though, it's like I have a dream cosplay too. It's just like, and it's
Ooh,
like
share.
Ezio from Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
you'd look
like
really good.
no, I've been wanting to do that for years and years and years and years now, and it's just like it just hasn't happened, right? Like
That's
sometimes
fair.
that will happen. Is like you
I
just
believe in you.
well, I kind of quit cosplay, right? So I don't
No
know.
one really quits cosplay.
That's
You'll
true.
always return to it.
That's
Yeah.
true. I was thinking.
Except
Well, then
for
again, I
November
was thinking
2nd.
about it for. I was thinking about it for Sakura-Con, and it's just not going to happen. I think.
That's fair.
Okay.
There is only like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
Well,
I'm not
no.
helping
Okay,
you
wait,
with that
wait.
one.
How important? Because
It was kinda
I
like
know
a
that you
closet
do
cosplay,
make
though.
like you are someone who will make their costume, Alfred. But
Yeah.
how important is it that you make Ezio as opposed to wear Ezio?
0.
I
So that's the
think
thing. Like,
Yeah, like I
knowing
don't
him, like the thing that's important to him is that it looks really, really good. So if he
on
can,
me,
the
right?
on him.
aesthetic.
So
Yeah.
if he can buy it and have it look really, really good on him, he'll do it.
Which is not possible
Which is-
though. Like my measurements are kind of weird.
So just obviously we have our own podcast. We're big wigs in the world of social media.
Yeah.
We'll just send an email out to a certain company.
yeah, I don't know.
Just be like, hey,
Yeah,
Ubisoft.
and like occasionally, just perspective of someone who just is not into it anymore. It doesn't really have
Sure.
the money or time for it anymore.
yeah.
and has other interests. Like I actually have stuff floating around my head that it's like, oh, I really want to cosplay that. That looks really cool. But I'm just like, okay, it's just not worth the effort anymore.
That's
you
fair.
know, like I personally, it's fun wearing a costume, but only for like the 1 hour that you're in it until I overheat. You know?
Yeah, that's
Like,
the number one thing. Hey, like
I don't know how you guys deal with it, but it's like I'm in costume for an hour.
I already complain about heels. I don't wear heels, but like
Yeah.
seeing ladies in heels
It's
on the
not
couch, you
even
do
the
that.
heels, like-
And then like it's heels plus like all the stuff that you don't see and like some of the pins and something sticking you and you're like you just like and all I like. I have some very close cosplay friends, even though I'm not in the cosplay community. How could you not be if you're, in the con scene? And basically, it's all I really see because I don't go with them to their photo shoots where they're looking pretty. All I hear them is like, I can't wait to take off this costume, or I hate this wig. And that's literally like, maybe that's why I don't cosplay, because I'm not part of like the good times. I only hear about like the downtime.
You should see the reactions when like a cosplay comes off.
Oh, it feels
It's
so
just
good.
it's just like a
feeling.
sigh of relief. That's just it. Like I don't
It
know.
feels like you're reborn.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I used to really love wearing costumes despite the discomfort. And
So did
now,
I. I was 8 years old, and I go around to houses asking for free candy.
No, see, the candy made it worth it back then. Now it's just like
Yeah, cosplay doesn't even have a free candy
now you
aspect to it.
just get photos that don't turn up ever, right?
Hey, Alexis,
funny.
how did you get into cosplay?
I talked about this last time on the
New podcast rule. Everyone has to listen to at least the last episode.
Sorry.
It's not a problem at all.
I got into it because I had a friend, TLDR, who...
Wait, a friend is TLDR? Interesting.
No, I'm
Keep going.
TLDRing the story.
All right.
I went to her house for Halloween. She had a card captor Sakura cosplay.
Wait, this is already TL.
Thanks.
Yeah, listen to the last episode.
Sorry, guys.
Anyways, I had a friend. I got into cosplay. My first costume was Xemnas from Kingdom Hearts 2, and I had such a positive experience that I just couldn't stop. And I kind of mentioned this
And
earlier.
here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
7 years
8
later.
years later.
8 years later.
Yeah.
78 years later.
What ends up happening is you end up with all of these characters you want to do, and you're like, okay, I don't have the time and money to do all of these, so they end up on a list.
Yeah.
And then, like,
And then-
4 years later, you're like,
I should
I'm gonna
revisit that list.
You're like, I should get things off of that list. So, like, I remember one of my I had two dream costumes that I really wanted to do, and then one that wasn't really a dream, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to do Anthe from Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant, and I got to do that last year.
Yeah.
Which was really fun.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do Casca from Berserk, and I'm doing that this year. I'm working on that right now, which is
Armor.
really exciting. Yeah, lots of armor.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to die, but it's going to be worth it. And the other one I wanted to do, I'm a really big fan of Final Fantasy VII, and so there's tons of characters from this game that I want to do. I basically want to make all of them.
Your Tifa looks really good.
Yeah,
so far,
and
by
I'm
the
working
way.
on Tifa right now. She's almost done. I'm going to wear that at Sakura-Con.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm so excited.
I just wanted to mention something that even though I'm not a cosplayer, because I'm with a bunch of cosplay friends, all I ever do is come up with like the worst ideas for cosplay. When you brought up Tifa, I was like, one of the first cosplays I ever wanted to do, because I'm an asshole.
Oh, yes.
I want to be a wheelchair cloud.
Can you do it, though? I have Tifa now.
The problem with wheelchair cloud is like,
It's kind of offensive.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess
it's
that's
ultra-
true.
well-
let's just get that out there.
Yeah.
I guess it's
and-
true. People won't realize.
Yeah.
but the other problem,
Now that I think about
is
it.
like wheelchair cloud will never be appreciated properly.
Yeah. Well, it's
Like it's actually no. I want to point out that wheelchair cloud is definitely, it's actually a legitimate cosplay, not because of the costuming part, but it's like a really pointed part in the story.
in the game. Yeah.
I actually haven't played Final Fantasy VII.
Oh.
me neither.
Whoa,
Sorry, guys.
hey, whoa, get the. We're gonna stop broadcasting right
I
now,
have
and we're gonna
weird-
start up again.
Yeah, I have weird taste in games. So.
Are you gonna play the remake? Because
I will play the remake. I'm pretty
even though
sure.
the remake looks like it's gonna split off. Like
Yeah,
not a
Like
lot.
episodic?
It's
but there's-
episodic, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
not
but-
just the episodic part, but the gameplay elements are not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a different experience.
That's okay,
But
no.
at least you'll get the story.
Well, and the
there's
thing
a
is-
big spoiler about a character,
I know about that.
and I'm not going to tell you it because I'm a good guy.
Well, if you can prime me off Destiny, then we can do that. But like, yeah. Speaking of Destiny, that's another cosplay I want to do. It's like, do you guys have personal connections with the characters you cosplay?
Yeah.
Sort of, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, right. And
I get
it's
attached
it's always like that, right? Like I actually want to cosplay my characters from Destiny, like the ones that I've made.
Fun. Yeah.
And
like original character do not steal.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, you know how people cosplay their World of Warcraft characters?
Yeah, or like
it's
their
like that.
Ragnarok
Yeah,
Online
yeah,
Yeah,
characters.
and like, I just love the art design of Destiny. I just love the characters and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, what would be really cool if I became my character, right? And
Yeah.
I think that at the heart of cosplay, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of becoming your characters.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's becoming
it's really
something you're
fun.
attached
Yeah,
to.
I feel you.
All right. I'm going to take a little minute here to tell you about our sponsor. This episode of the Otafest podcast is brought to you by none other than Otafest. For those of you who are listening to this podcast and have no idea what the heck Otafest is somehow, Otafest is a non-profit society which hosts Southern Alberta's premier Japanese media and culture festival for the last 17 years and counting. Otafest's annual convention features a spectacular spectrum of activities such as visiting expanded artist alley and vendors because we're in a larger venue, watching your favorite anime shows in large theater spaces, fan culture via community hosted panels, cosplay contests with cash prizing, and also our video game contests or tournaments, I should say, are also cash prizes. And then we also have our unique special guests. We have musical guests, we have voice actors, and different kinds of media personalities from all over the world. And Otafest 2016 will be held at the TELUS Convention Center in downtown Calgary, Alberta from July 1st to 3rd. Tickets are available online at otafest.com with early bird discounts. Right now, they're $55. They're up from $50 if you've already missed a chance, unfortunately. But they're going to be $60 at the door, so you can still at least save $5 for the entire weekend. And I believe that discount ends June 20th.
Yeah, and once again, if you come to Calgary Comic Expo, you can save on the service fee as well.
If you see us at Sakura or at Sakura-Con or at Calgary Expo, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Or any event that we decide to sell tickets at. So there could be some upcoming events that we might be selling pre-registration at as well. So
no service charges.
No service charges if you buy at our
I
table.
think we can also take in cash.
At Sakura-Con, we'll be doing cash only because it's in the US.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Then we can definitely take in
FYI.
cash.
Yeah,
And by the
exactly.
way, Americans, have you seen the dollar conversion?
Yeah.
Would you like to
Dollar
go to a
is so
weekend
bad
con
right
Come here,
now.
for
con,
nice
yeah.
and cheap? Nice and cheap.
Actually, you know what? You can cash Canada Day.
Yeah.
While you're up here, you can turn into a vacation.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You can cash
because
Canada
it's
Day.
a long weekend.
Yeah.
For you Americans, because I know you guys have obviously July 4th.
Because so many Americans listen to this podcast, but yeah.
Yeah, many. But the point is that, you know, you can take advantage of our crappy dollar versus your strong American freedom dollars, and you can basically
Eagle
have
dollars.
a weekend con at literally 2/3 of the price.
No, it would be 25% now. Dollar went up.
You don't know that by the time they get here.
Just get
That's true.
a bunch of Ziploc bags because the maple leaf is actually our currency.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Bring Canadian Tire money.
Yeah, like I, from what I've heard, you guys deal in bald eagles,
Yeah.
and we deal in beaver tails and maple leaves,
Yeah.
and ketchup flavored chips.
Yeah.
If you don't have any of those forms of currency, we will also take paper or plastic.
I take Timbits as payment.
Pardon?
Not actually, but well, actually, good luck trying to find Timbits in Seattle. So jokes on you.
I
that's
just had the
sad.
thought that I'm not going to be able to get any more roll.
Where are we gonna
Roll
go
off
for
the rims.
Seattle?
Oh man, I am 1 for 7 right
Where
now.
are we going for coffee in Seattle?
I'm
Starbucks.
Starbucks. What kind
No.
of question?
Starbucks.
I can't go to
No.
You can go to the original Starbucks, the first ever Starbucks.
I can't
No.
do that.
Yeah,
Some
you
people
can-
will be
okay.
like, "Why are
There's
you
no
going to Seattle?"
rims.
There's no rims to roll up.
There
Okay.
are. You just literally will not win anything, but there are still rims.
It just roll up and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Guys, we
It's
should get
just white. There's
Yeah.
nothing here.
we should get
Green.
sponsorship from Tim Hortons for this episode.
I think Tim Hortons
Always fresh.
are
Always
clearly
Tim Hortons.
missing out on a prime opportunity. I'm actually, speaking of roll up the rim, I'm actually doing pretty good. I am, I think, 5 for 3 right now.
I made a
Which
comeback.
means
What-
I
what-
bought
I'm
3
zero
drinks.
Okay,
for
what
I
was-
bought 3
like
drinks,
8.
but I've chained a couple.
So what
Wins.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. All right.
So
yeah.
I'm, and
I'm
unless
like,
it's
how'd
on,
you
like,
get 5 for
Wait,
3?
wait.
It's-
Listen, I was on a losing streak. I hit 0 out of 11.
Christ.
and that was bad. But then I won one, and then I chained it,
Yes.
and it became. I'm now at 7 out of 15. So I've made a
Holy
Oh,
comeback.
wow, that's impressive.
That's a good win. That's a good hit rate.
Yeah, well, that's almost 50%. So.
Yeah, so I
I
made a
clearly
comeback.
don't
I'm
go to
5
Tim
for
Hortons
3.
enough.
Keep going. You're gonna get that car.
Yeah, it's my car.
Yeah, that's how that works, right? The more you chain, the more likely you are to get a car.
Speaking of which, what are you going to be? What else are you wearing to Seattle other than Kyrie?
Clothes.
We're doing an Idolmaster cosplay together.
Yeah, we're doing Idolmaster together. I'm so excited.
Yay.
I'm trying to drag everybody into like Idolmaster hell.
Please
Idolmaster.
join us.
So are you two like? Are you like an idol?
For anyone who doesn't know what
Hipster.
Idolmaster is, that's just another. It's just another idol game.
It was.
Yeah,
it came
it's-
out before Love Live.
Yeah, it was the original.
Yeah, there was
sort
something
of
before
like
Love Live.
really big, like
So
really
you're an
popular
idol
series.
hipster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember hearing about it because this was back in the day before it was really popular, even like the Idolmaster series. I remember reading about it, and they had the gaming arcade terminals
Yeah,
in Japan,
yeah.
but they had touchscreens and stuff.
Yeah.
So you could be like, I'm gonna dress up my idol now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
no. The creepiest part is the massages. There's a massage component.
Whoa.
Oh.
In some of the games.
All I'm saying
Not
is-
all of them.
Thanks, Japan.
All I'm saying is that's you're doing that in public. I'm like, no.
Well, there's some weirder arcade games that come out from Japan
Yeah,
though. Like
that's
I did
true.
play the table flipping game at Con.
Oh, that must have been fun.
There's an arcade game where there's like a plastic table, but it's like a life size table,
Yeah.
and you get put into various situations, and you're based on how much stuff you can flip off the table in
Oh,
anger.
I was hoping it'd be like assassinate the target. Like there's a guy walking in front of the table. No, I hate you.
Oh man, Con. I actually. That
Yeah,
was
you
such
guys do a lot of traveling for cons.
Not so
I am
much,
the one who
actually.
doesn't travel. I'm the one who doesn't cosplay.
Well, compared to the average Calgary convention goer, I guess we travel.
yeah,
for
you
cons,
do,
right?
because like this is my first time going to the U.S.
This is only my second time.
It's only second for Sakura-Con.
We
but,
do know
like,
people who've been going to Sakura-Con for like years, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You're-
This is my first time going to America
Seriously?
in like
Wow.
living memory. Like I
Whoa.
went as like a very small child,
I'm in that same boat.
but that doesn't count.
I've been to Seattle like once.
I
just
think I've
crossing
been to
the
Seattle.
border. Yeah,
I
just
was-
crossing the border once.
I went to Seattle when I was 8 months old,
Oh.
and that doesn't really count. I have never been to the U.S. since.
Yeah, this is gonna be my first time.
I'm not going.
It's gonna be it's gonna be
Have
a
fun.
different convention. Like Colossal Con was a con held in a freaking water park and
Yeah.
resort, and it was the greatest thing ever.
Open alcohol.
Happy St. Patrick's
And
Day.
Sakura-Con is a
Yeah,
little bit
happy St.
like
Patrick's Day.
what Otafest is going to be. It takes place in the middle of downtown Seattle. We're going to be in the middle of downtown Calgary. So
Yeah, actually, good point. That's going to be a good barometer for us to see how our event is going to look.
Oh, okay.
and how it's
actually.
going to feel.
Yeah, actually, that brings me back to like a conversation I had with a few Colossal Con executives, and they actually told us that we're probably going to do very, very well in downtown Calgary because our configuration is very
I'll
similar
show
to
them
Seattle's.
how well we do.
No, apparently our configuration is very similar to Seattle's, just
Oh,
along an avenue with the
Well,
plaza
you
across
know.
the street. Yeah,
In the end, it's all down to the community. So
that's true. And well, we have a strong community, and like
Yes, we
well,
do.
the thing is, Sakura-Con's been going for a while too. And I think
Yeah.
we'll have a.
Is it longer than us?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, it's gotta be.
actually, I don't know. I'm gonna look that up.
It's gotta be. It's gotta
Good
be.
plan.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. God, that arcade room at Colossal Con though. Apparently there's a really good arcade room at Sakura-Con. that
Ooh,
looking
okay, I'm
forward
gonna
to.
go check it
Yeah,
out.
that's the one. That's the biggest part that's really missing, and not like Calgary conventions, but Calgary in general. We don't have an arcade. The closest arcade, the real arcade that we have now, there's one down in Chinook, which is part of the theater, and the
Yeah.
other one that's part of a theater that I would really call an arcade is the one up in Cross Iron Mills,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that one actually has ticket exchange and all that stuff.
That's not arcades though. Arcades you go and play for the sake of playing games.
Yeah,
right? So-
they don't really exist here anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, like the ticket. I don't know. The ticket part's pretty nostalgic. Let's be
Alfred,
honest.
I guess
didn't
so.
the guy at Sakura-Con tell you why the arcade can't come to Canada, though?
Customs.
Yeah.
customs.
Like, they can't get the same stuff here that they can
Yeah,
get in
and,
the
like-
U.S.,
like
and they
they-
can't bring their stuff from the U.S.
They have to
into
rip
Canada.
apart the machines at the border.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, so that's
So-
why we can't get stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate.
Let's see. For the record, Otafest started in 1999.
Yeah.
And oh, come on.
1998.
I mean, it's not really anything to be be upset over. I'm just like, why only 1 year? Like if it was 1997, I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever, sure. But like 1 year, you're like, come on.
What
Oh,
about
man.
Anime Evolution in Vancouver? When that start?
Oh man.
I don't know if I can find that because
that
there'll
one's
be-
a little newer.
Yeah.
It's a little newer.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
It's-
we're actually we are one of the oldest.
We're older than that than EE. I'm pretty sure. So
Like we're I think we're the second oldest in Western Canada
Yeah.
Nice.
for one thing. Animathon obviously being the
Oh, well,
exception.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can double check that, but I
Yeah.
think like just getting back onto the travel thing first though, like the only cons, I'm not much of a con goer. I'm definitely an organizing type of person.
Yep.
But the only cons I've really gone to are I really like going to small cons. That's the number one thing with me because
yeah.
I really like the
Yeah,
feel.
you had a lot of fun at Sakura-Con.
And
I will-
Belrose Con was also fun.
Belrose is
yeah.
I believe it's defunct now, unfortunately.
Yes.
And that's the concern that you always have to like that small cons, and if you're a fan of them, is that you don't know how long they're gonna last if they remain small.
True. Yeah.
But and that's a real shame. But I'm usually a big fan of small cons. They have a different, not just a different feel, but they have to be so much more creative in how they have to run things. And I almost have to really appreciate, like, even if it's maybe a little bit too much, hot glue gun and duct tape, that's totally fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, the smaller conventions have a bit of a charm to them, right? And
Yes,
like, yeah,
for sure.
Yep, I
And
agree.
you know what? Like that charm can still make me travel for them. Like
Yep.
like Red Deer is still an hour and a half away. Right?
Yeah, and we still all drove out for Sakura-Con, and I'm definitely going to be doing that again.
yeah, Nishikaze. And
We did
stuff.
Nishikaze, and that was really, really fun.
Yeah, Anime Evolution I did for 2 years, I believe, back around 2008.
Did you do that huge road trip with the Otafest crew that one year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like 12 hours nonstop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good times. We left at like
Yeah.
3
Yeah,
a.m.
I always fly to Vancouver.
That's
No,
good.
I love the road trip, but
No, I can't do it, yeah.
I'm from Vancouver, and I just like when I get to go back, I'm pretty much like the happiest person in the world.
Right? Yeah.
I'm doing the road trip thing for
Road-
Sakura-Con.
good luck.
I pity you.
I think I'll be fine.
Really?
Like,
Huh.
I don't actually mind
Road-
road car rides.
Don't get me wrong, like a flight is nice for convenience sake, but you build a certain camaraderie with your fellow road trip mates. Like you just do.
I cannot
like
sit for a long period
No.
of
you
time.
know, it's about like blaring music and
Well-
singing along and getting snacks along the way.
yeah. Okay.
Or
but
I can get there faster and I can do tourism in the town in the
But
city.
it costs
I'm
you
in.
more money, and I'm
Costs
cheap
you more money,
and
yeah.
poor.
no, and well,
But I
camaraderie.
get there faster. I have to
Camaraderie
take
can
less time off work.
camaraderie can happen in the hotel room as well. Like
That's true.
Like after
Sure, but I have extra camaraderie on top of that
Well,
already.
okay,
We're
fine.
gonna be at the hotel room anyways.
Okay, well, after Colossal Con though, right? We had 6 people in our room, and like we were like,
All I'm saying is no one ever has
Hugging
good
and-
plane
Yeah.
stories, but we always have good road trip stories.
okay, fine.
I actually barely knew the people that we went to Colossal Con with. Like, it's people from Calgary. They were people that
I like
I'd
that.
met before, but
good.
We
like
knew
I
of
went with
them.
like
Yeah.
Alfred and my like best friend that I've known since junior high,
Actually,
and then 3 other people who I
both Saras.
kind of knew, both Sarahs.
Yeah, so Sarah
and we
Sarah
were
and Sarah. Yeah.
like those are my best friends now.
yeah.
So okay, so I was wrong, maybe about the Anime Evolution thing.
Okay,
They were inaugurated in 1998,
Oh,
but
They died.
they kind of died.
Yeah.
They died for like 2 years, didn't they?
yeah,
a year or
yeah.
2, yeah.
So we can say that Otafest is the second longest continuously running con for one thing, and then you can also say that
Animathon's got you beat. Animathon has us beat.
yeah,
Animathon's-
Animathon's gonna have us
Second
beat
longest.
regardless.
oh, okay, yeah, second.
But
longest,
it's just
sure.
that like it's hard to say against
Okay,
Anime
second-
Evolution because
okay,
it depends on
continuously
how dead
long.
you consider them to be.
Okay, yeah.
If you consider them fully
Well,
dead
there
for at
was,
least 1 year, then it might like they're running under
well, okay,
the
well,
same
I wouldn't
name
say
and
dead.
logo.
Hiatus.
But it's
Hiatus.
Yeah,
Hiatus.
it's
I wouldn't say dead.
it's difficult. I'm not. Look, all of this isn't really gonna mean anything. It's just fun to talk about. But they did start in 1998 for what it's worth.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
Anyways,
Traveling.
Yeah, it means nothing to me.
Speaking of cons, Sarah, how do you prepare when you travel? Since you're the one who's like actually had to like pack cosplays on the con.
oh, I have to pack. Crap.
Yeah. Hey, wait. I want to strike that. Also, that's a good thing for road trips. No weight limits on your luggage.
but it's really hard to go over that weight limit. I've never gone over
50
it.
pounds.
I've never.
Then
bought
you don't
cosplay
travel
on
like
a
an Asian?
plane.
Yeah, I like bringing like everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
actually, what I do to save space in my luggage, usually my shoes that I use for cosplay take up a lot of space, but they also have a lot of space inside them. So I actually
yeah,
stuff
true.
like my underwear and socks and like
Oh,
whatever I
that's
can,
really
like little
smart.
t-shirts inside my shoes.
You
Panty
just revealed
I'm gonna
that
do
on
that.
air.
I don't care. Yeah.
It's a tip.
Yeah, it's a
tip.
Pro
tip.
tip.
Yeah, you want to save space in your luggage, just stuff your
Okay,
shoes.
well, you know what? Here's a pro tip. If you have any leftover beer or anything, just stuff them into your shoes.
Yeah,
or
I've done that
socks.
too.
I've never really had to like pack for a con. Like I drive up to Animathon every year, but I mean, because I'm driving and it's my own car.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to be as tight.
It's
but
not.
I tend,
Well, then again, for Amazon, it's less important to be carpooling like 5 people in one car, though.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, yeah.
But like, I mean, I like to pack light. Like I used to live in Edmonton and then commute home to visit people, and I realized very quickly that like I was overpacking and this is
Yeah.
uncomfortable and I'm
Yeah.
carrying too much
Yeah.
stuff. So I've learned how to pack effectively and only bring what I need. And so a lot of the time what I do, especially since I tend to be that person where I'll lose cosplay pieces or I'll get them all mixed up, is I'll have like a bag and I'll roll up my costumes and each costume gets its own bag and then that bag goes inside the suitcase.
That's smart.
I do that at home, but not for packing. I keep my costumes all like on a hanger inside, with like the little pieces are inside a bag. And then when I'm sewing, I also like keep all of the fabric, all of the notions, everything inside a plastic bag, and I never lose anything.
Oh, smart.
How hard is packing a wig?
Not you just
It depends.
yeah.
So
Oh
like,
right,
Well,
yeah. If it's spiked
Sarah,
or something,
the wig
yeah.
box.
Yeah,
through
I-
airport security. You
yeah.
remember that?
If you pack a wig in a wig box, make sure you put other things in the wig box because it'll be too light and it'll roll over and go upside down.
Oh, I
and
thought
get stuck
what you meant
inside
was.
security.
I honestly thought what you meant was like, because I don't know what a wig box is. I'm imagining that it's like a wig head in a box, essentially,
Yes.
right?
With the wig
But
on
I was
it.
more
Wig on top.
imagining
Fully
a
styled
story
wig on
where
top
it'd
of
be.
it.
I was imagining a story where you're taking it through the TSA security check, and then you're just like you just roll it through like the X-ray machine, and the guy just like, what the hell is this? And he just sees
You know
a
what?
head.
I
Because I've
was-
seen some of the like you drew like a Joker face on yours.
Yeah, that's true. I did.
So
It wasn't
the
that
poor
one.
the
Yeah, it
TSA
wasn't
security
that
guard
head.
is just like flag. Oh, you've been randomly selected for additional
Okay, you know what though? You did have to
Please
open
step
it.
aside.
You did
I
have to
didn't.
open it.
No, I didn't. I thought I was going to. I
Oh,
brought
okay.
packing tape with me on the plane in case I had to open the box. Okay. Anyway, the purpose of the wig box is so that when you're
protect
traveling,
styled wigs.
yeah, you protect your styled wig. You can carry it with
Yeah.
you on the plane, and you just like stow it away with like it's a checked bag essentially.
Okay.
The worst thing to take on the plane though is camera equipment, like Alfred's camera equipment. It
Yeah.
kind of all looks like guns, so it kind of flags
Oh,
at security.
jeez. Never take camera equipment onto your. Okay.
It's not that bad.
Unless you get a dedicated like bag for it, like a Pelican case. Try not to take it through.
You hear that, terrorists? Hide your guns in a Pelican case.
Okay, it's not that bad. It was like a 10-minute delay where he had to like open up his bag and take out
I have
everything.
a lot of stuff though, and
There's a
like,
lot
the
of
thing
stuff.
is, the camera equipment's very dense. Right?
I have a feeling
And
that's
it looks
the same for
looks
like,
bombs.
unless you're bringing like specifically like computer components where you can see like the motherboard and everything like that.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at just like small electronical items in a group, essentially in a small package,
They have to check
Then
it.
they're gonna be like,
Yeah, like they
Double check.
like they checked and then they put it back. It
yeah,
was fine.
yeah. With a Pelican case, it's a lot easier just to open it, show them that hey, it's camera equipment,
Yeah.
close it, right?
Yeah.
Versus
That's
like
fair.
for me, I just stuffed it into like my carry on because I for camera equipment I actually tend to pack lighter than most other photographers that go to cons.
Yeah.
And I was like, they still stop me every single time I try to put it in my carry on, right? Because it takes up a lot of space in your normal luggage. I can actually stuff into my carry on because for my carry on there's not a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super dense and apparently it looks like bombs or whatever.
Yeah, so it's just
or like
inconvenient.
guns or
So-
whatever. So yeah.
just on the topic of travel, but
Yeah.
and obviously this is the Otafest podcast, so we're part of a con already. But what's your favorite con that you've traveled to?
Classicon.
Well, we haven't
And-
traveled to that many,
Yeah.
but yeah, Classicon.
Yes,
That was my
for
dream
sure.
con for a
Classicon.
couple
We've
of
all gone
years.
through like at least like 5 or so.
Man.
Prior to Classicon, it would have been Anime Evolution 2010.
Oh man.
Flew out to
I
Vancouver.
only ever
Yeah.
do like stuff in Alberta.
For me, I would say while you're waiting is the road trip. The road trip to AE 2008 was great. The con was okay. I don't, like I said, I'm not a con attendee, so it's difficult.
Yeah.
My favorite other con was probably Belrose, and that was a high
was
school
really
con,
fun.
but that was extremely engaging.
I
and
remember
really loved
that.
it.
Yeah, I remember you drove up with Sean and Jenny, and I
Yeah.
think Sean just like texted me. He was like, "Do you want to go to this con?" And I was like, what? Sure. And
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
because we
picked
were
me.
just because that's when you were living in Edmonton, and Belrose takes place in St. Albert, or took
yeah.
place, and that's like half an hour out, and we're just like, oh, who else is here? It's like, oh, we'll take her.
Yeah,
that
so
makes a lot
come.
of sense. We actually, I have no idea why we just kind of came up with that, other than why not.
Yeah.
But it was really
Like,
spur
I
of
had
the
no
moment.
idea what was going on.
Yeah.
You guys just spur of the moment texted me, and I was like, sure. I threw down my homework, jumped in the car.
Get out of here, home.
Yeah, but that's like super, super light traveling though. If we're talking about like traveling for conventions, it's gonna be like flying out, right?
Yeah.
And stuff.
Or
Well, I mean, the
12-hour
drive is
drive.
Or
going to be
12-hour
interesting.
drives, yeah,
It's
exactly.
going to be really
Then,
interesting.
Like Sakura-Con is gonna be strange
Yeah.
to me because
But
like
yeah, favorite con.
favorite con.
Yeah, like, it's gonna be-
I almost want to say like that I've traveled to is Belarus because like that was such a really fun.
That was
like,
a
I'd
surprise,
never-
right?
It was a
Yeah,
surprise, and like
most of the group wasn't there. That was only the
it was
four
just
of
the
us.
four of us,
but
and like I had
good
never
times.
done like a small con like that. This
Yeah.
was a time before Sakura-Con existed. I think Nishikaze had been on a bit of like a hiatus,
And
during that
Otafest
period of
wasn't
time.
that small already.
And obviously-
Otafest was already at the 2000 mark.
Yeah, so Otafest was like the big con.
what year
for
was
me.
that? Belarus?
2000 and
2011.
I want to say 10.
Oh, we
but sure.
were
No,
at
'cause I
like the
graduated
4,000 or
in
5,000
2007,
mark
so
at that
I think
point.
it was at 2011.
Yeah, easily.
I think was when we went to Belarus. But,
Yeah,
like,
sorry, we were at the 4 to 5.
4 to
mark
5,
already,
yeah.
So
So,
we were not
like
small.
Otafest was already pretty much a big con.
Yeah.
And it was my first time like going to like a really and it was a high school convention. It was organized by their Japanese club.
Yeah,
if I
or
recall.
member or like alumni of the Japanese club.
Right.
Yeah. And it was just really fun. It was this very small event, like a very tiny artist alley, and I think we went to almost every panel because there was only like one or two panel rooms.
Yeah.
And we
But
did, like-
my favorite thing was the iron cosplay.
Was that iron
cosplay
cosplay?
is
That
always
was
the favorite
really
thing.
fun.
We just dressed you up in
I was
cardboard.
a Gundam. Yeah, I became a Gundam.
We made box Gundam. It was great.
It was just really fun. It was a fun, like, neat little experience.
Yeah.
So
Do you have a dream con?
Oh, man.
Dragon Con
man.
is the next
pardon?
Dragon Con.
Dragon Con maybe. Yeah.
But Dragon Con's more like a Calgary, it's more of an expo type, right?
No.
Is it- what kind of
it's
con?
like
It's hotels.
Hotel Con.
It's 6 hotels.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's not what I
So-
meant. I meant like what's the genre?
a general geek con.
General geek.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah, anime's
Okay.
there. There's
but
comics,
it's not like a
video
trade
games.
show like Comic Expo is.
Sure.
Like it's not like walk around and like look at vendors or whatever.
Is it
There's
closer
a
to like
lot
Fan
to
Expo
do.
essentially?
Not even that.
I would
Because
say-
Fan Expo is
No,
a
it's-
hotel
it's-
con.
It's
It's its own
closer
thing.
to Colossal Con. It's kind of
It's a very big ALA. Let's put it that way. ALA takes place in the hotel as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it's 6 hotels is linked together, and it's a huge con, but apparently it feels like a small community con,
oh,
Sure.
okay,
and it's just
interesting.
a 24/7 party. It's insane from what I hear.
Yeah.
So Colossal Con's, Dragon Con's up there. Star Wars Celebration, just because I'm a Star Wars person.
Nerd. Just say Star Wars nerd.
Yeah, I'd
Star Wars person implies that you may be part of the universe.
You're right.
Yes.
I'd want to see a European con at some point. MCM London.
I've heard
interesting.
I've heard good things about London.
Yeah, MCM London.
Comic-Con?
Comic-Con, no.
Yeah, I was
No,
just gonna say,
no, I'm-
Actually, I know someone who went just this past year. It kind of she
I
wasn't too
really-
impressed.
I think Comic-Con has a lot of hype to it
I
because of the
really want to
it's
go.
one of the originals. Yeah.
But I feel like that's the kind of con that appeals to someone like me.
Yeah.
Where I'm
Okay.
really into like super like niche Japanese stuff. Like I'm really
Okay.
into Toho.
Because she just wanted to go to cosplay, and
Yes.
it's kind of like really
Yeah,
strict
that's
with
not a
where you can
cosplay
cosplay and
con.
stuff.
Yeah,
well, a lot of
it
for
is.
people who for some reason don't know anything about Comic-Con. Comic-Con's basically it starts off in Dojin. Like that's
Yeah,
their
it's a
Dojin
doujin.
are
It's
like
a
it's
doujin
fan
con. Yeah, yeah.
it's fan art, fan manga.
Well, the thing
creation.
about Asian and Japanese cons, though, is that they're totally different from the American
absolutely.
approach,
Yeah.
right? So I wouldn't expect something similar
No.
when you go. So yeah, like
We have Americans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those aren't high up on my list, to be honest. Oh man, what's the,
I want to
there's some video game ones as well.
I want to do Katsucon.
I want to go to
I don't know.
does Evo count as a con?
Evo? No, Evo is a tournament.
Okay.
Evo's
well, I still
want
to go to Evo regardless, but
Evo,
I
yeah.
PAX is probably
PAX is up there.
Yeah, I wanna go to PAX.
PAX is up there.
Magfest.
Magfest sorta.
I try it.
Magfest is actually it started as a chiptune con, I think.
Even
right?
though I've already mentioned a couple times that I'm not a con goer, but I haven't gone to a video game dedicated one yet.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's something I
because I'm
haven't
such
done.
I'm more focused on video games anyways.
Okay,
I'm interested to see what my reaction is.
Yeah, if you're gonna throw in Evo, I'm gonna throw in E3.
Yeah, I'd love.
No, I don't want to
Yeah.
go to E3.
Oh,
I want to go to
die.
Tokyo Game Show.
Oh yes, I want to go to Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah,
TGS would be
TGS
interesting.
is way higher on my list than E3 can ever be.
Oh,
Because
crap.
E3 has soiled its name.
No,
to me.
what's the one in Germany that's actually open to the public?
Das Gaming Con. I don't know.
It's a game con, but it's open. It's
Is
in
it
Germany.
DreamHack?
It's not. It's not.
German.
Oh, I'm
DreamHack's a
sorry.
tournament.
Yeah,
You
okay.
tricked me.
DreamHack is a tournament. No, I'm thinking.
I believed you.
Oh, I think it's literally just called GamesCon. It's
Yeah.
literally just called
Gamescom.
GamesCon. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
because
so,
it's
yeah.
German. It has to be an efficient name. It's either super efficient or very long. That's one of the other two.
goodness.
Or Gamescom or something. I don't know. Like
Gamescom.
I'll look it up. Hang on.
I'm sure it's fun.
It's like the
Yeah.
European E3. It was like before. Like I think E3 is now open is press only.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
what soils it for me. Like I have,
Yeah, as like at one point it was open to the public.
yeah.
And then like they kind of closed it again. So yeah. Oh yeah, it's Gamescom. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about so you know how BlizzCon
Yep.
is obviously
Blizzard
convention
focused.
for Blizzard, like because Blizzard hosts it, blah blah blah, and they have a lot of content.
Yep.
Do you think Valve could ever hold a con?
I
Oh,
want
yeah,
a
totally.
Square
That would be
Enix
so
con.
cool.
Totally.
I'd be down.
Like they could call
for
it like
Valve
Steam Fest or
I'd
Valve
go.
Con,
If they do that, I'd see
Gabe
it.
Con,
I wish
Oh my
there was
God.
a con
Game
for
con.
adventure gamers.
Gabe Fest. I
Point
don't
and
know.
click adventures is what I want.
There probably is
There
one.
Game
probably
con.
is. I just have
Hey,
to find it.
Square Enix, where's my Square Enix convention? Thanks.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
like,
there's gonna be a
it's
Destiny
like
con.
welcome to Japan.
There's gonna be a Destiny con. So
Ooh.
Is there?
Why?
apparently they haven't found a venue for it yet, but it's in the works.
You should
so,
offer your house.
They're destined. to find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just there's definitely a lot of different niche. Like I wouldn't even call I don't even call Steam a niche really, and I don't know what they would really be able to show there.
Well,
that
it
wasn't
would-
just
It
gaming.
would just be a Gamescom.
It would
which
just
would
be up
awesome.
against PAX, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's where a lot of indie games.
But PAX,
debut and
no.
stuff.
In defense of PAX, because I do follow Penny Arcade, they're a multimedia con.
Yeah,
Valve
that's
is
true.
not a multimedia company. They are a gaming company.
Well, they're trying.
They're a distribution company.
I'd say they're transitioning to multimedia.
You know what I think was
Sure,
the
but-
coolest con idea? There used to be a cause and effect, a cosplay con.
That
Rather
one
than,
ended up
like-
falling apart.
It. Yeah.
I don't know anything
From what
about
I
like
heard.
the idea
It was
of
only
the
a couple
con.
of years, but I thought that was a really, really good idea because I literally go to conventions
Well,
for cosplay.
isn't that just Dragon Con? This is kind of just Dragon
Yeah,
Con, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean-
serious question though. What makes a cosplay con different from a furry con? No. Because they're all like
That's not
'cause
the
in a
question
furry,
I was expecting.
no, a furry
Not at
con is
all.
like a furry type cosplay, whatever you want to call it, persona, doesn't matter. I'm not trying to be like
I don't
PC about
think
it. The point
furries
is
are
just like,
cosplaying. They're just like wearing costumes to be
but it's
themselves.
like
It's very different. Like I'm not
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, it's
none of us
I'm
have a
not
lot of
actually a
experience.
No,
Idol?
it's
The
a
understanding there?
different
Yeah, very different culture.
It's a different culture, and I think cosplay is much more all encompassing.
I would say that I don't know, but my point being is like if a cosplay convention
Mm-hmm.
is like because it's so centered around that notion, almost everyone's going to be cosplaying as opposed to when you just go to an
I
anime
think I
con
see
and
what
like
you're saying.
and half
I think it
half
would
the
be-
people
Yeah,
are
yeah.
cosplaying.
I think what the
and then in
difference
a furry
is
type con,
that-
you have just about everyone else in fursuits.
No, I think
right?
it would be the same idea. It would just be a gathering of people with that one
Yeah.
communal interest.
So do you think it would be that far off, really?
I think it would be because with personas like that's like thinking about like who you are and what kind of like animal you are or whatever. With cosplay, I think what people are really into is not being a character in particular, but also the crafting that goes with it, like the sewing. I'm a fan of sewing.
I guess that's true, but that's also like
But there are people who are surely
I think this
interested
is-
in fursuits for their fursuits. Like
yeah,
their-
like I was
their-
just gonna say, like me and you are
creative
especially
outlet.
like pretty biased because we're both people who are very interested in making stuff, and
That's
like
true,
that's
yeah.
what we have fun with. But like I've started to realize that like I only see that aspect of it because that's what I've been doing for the past 8 years. But there's tons of people like interested in cosplay and in cosplay who just want to wear a costume. Like
Yeah.
they don't care how. it
Yeah,
ends
that'd
up
be
on their
that'd be the
body.
group that would buy, like for instance, buy their costumes, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that's exclusively them, but I don't see the parallels run way deeper than I think you guys realize.
No, I think I agree with you.
So what?
I think they'd be very similar.
yeah.
But now I don't know where you're going with that.
Well, I'm just wondering
okay.
that because we're talking about cause and effect, and the truth is that I'm pretty sure that cause effects is gone now.
Yes,
right?
yes, it's been
They're
done
done
for a while.
But I was just wondering what made the difference between a furry con being furry cons are pretty
Okay, so
successful.
So
Actually, I was
here's the
gonna say.
deal. I actually think the reason for that is because the subculture for like say furries is much more focused onto like one aspect of costuming, for instance, versus like cosplay, right?
It's very broad.
It's so broad, and the thing is, it necessarily has to encompass much more different types of genres and content.
Yes,
and it's
but
not as
that's-
focused, right?
But that means that the niche is not as focused. Which
Right,
and
but
when
okay,
you're
so my argument for that then is that if you move it to say like a comic type convention, right, and necessarily the goal of a convention, at least to me, right, is to actually just to gather people like that, right? Necessarily the people who are into cosplay will be into different types of cosplay. Not everyone who cosplays just from one fandom, right? I don't know a lot of people who cosplay just from one fandom for their entire cosplay career, quote unquote, right?
That's
so
true.
I actually think that because of that, it necessarily
there's definitely there's
general
a
interest cosplay
separation. There's a
general
separation.
interest cosplay has to take place within the context of say like an anime convention or a comic convention.
Yeah,
at least that's just my opinion.
It's not a necessarily like that representation of who you feel you are on the inside.
Precisely,
kind of, right?
yeah.
That's fair.
It's just,
there's a different type of dedication,
right? Yeah, so I think like a full size cosplay con would just be like a full size cosplay how it's made. Almost. Yeah.
And the convention guests would be people like Michelle Carragher, who's the lead embroiderer for Game of Thrones.
She's such a fangirl.
I'm a huge fangirl.
I was just about to say, Sarah's about to like gush a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess on that note,
I have nothing better to say.
I have nothing better to say as well. I think we covered pretty much everything about that was just general thoughts on cosplay. We can go like 3 or 4 more episodes about cosplay if you really want to.
Yes.
Yeah, we really could. And that'd
well,
be
I don't
fun.
know if I could. Now I'm by myself.
Yeah,
I'll be like my friends cosplay, and I saw this. I do have a good cosplay story though.
Sure.
And it's also a travel cosplay. Story.
Go.
I went to Nishikaze, which is the Lethbridge Con.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't really a good story. It's just this is my dumb story. For anyone who knows me, I used to really I'm a troll. And basically, I really used to like photobombing. But photobombing is so passe. I don't do it anymore. But it is an
graduated.
art. It is a art. And I found this really cute Fiona cosplayer from Adventure Time. And I thought it was I almost never ask for photos with a cosplayer. Not because of anything, it's not a creeper or hover hand kind of deal. It's literally I'm not ever really that interested, but it's just that Fiona was still a pretty new character at the time, and I didn't think I'd see one so quickly, and she was really cute. So I'm like, hey, really nice cosplay, do you mind taking a photo? And she's like, yeah, sure. So she stands beside me, and 3, 2, 1, we take the photo. And you're like, oh yeah, thanks. And I didn't even realize what was happening. She left. I don't think I've ever heard or seen from her ever again. I look at the photo. I photobombed my own photo. I made a shitty face. I didn't smile. She was just really cute. And she's like, whatever. And I'm just making a crap photobomb face. Ruined my own good photo. And I have no way to ever redeem myself. And that's probably half the reason why I don't photobomb anymore.
And on that note, that's what not to do at cons. So
yeah, don't be that jerk.
Don't be that jerk. Don't
photobomb
yourself.
other people's photos. Don't photobomb your own photos.
If you take
it was so reflexive. I didn't know.
If you take one thing away from this cosplay podcast, it's that don't photobomb yourself or don't photobomb other people's cosplay photos.
I do other things now.
It's like DJ Khaled voice. You played yourself.
Yep. All right. Thanks for listening to this 4th episode. That's 2 months worth of episodes now.
Oh man!
Wow.
Good job, guys.
Time flies. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll catch you later with our 5th episode
In 2 weeks. Yep.
Yeah, and it's gonna be April already. It's gonna be almost April. Yeah,
it's gonna be.
It's gonna be after Sakura-Con.
I think so. Yep.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
I'm Jay.
I'm Dio.
And Alfred.
I'm Sarah.
Other Sarah.
Other Sarah.
Bye, guys.